Hey, everybody, welcome.
To TFT.
Why don't you say hi again?
Hi again.
There, so everybody can hear you. Welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with...
Hi again.
Interruptor.
I mean, Mr. O. I don't know who I am.
And me, Banshee. Welcome to the first of the year, wet hair edition... mine, of the Unhappy Hour.
That's
Yours
right.
is dry.
It's the Unhappy Hour.
It's the Unhappy Hour, where we tell you all, where does it hurt? But we
The musical question.
It is a musical question. Do you want to sing?
No.
We tell you where it hurts so that we hope we can help you turn that frown upside down by the end of the reading. And we do this every fourth quarter moon because, it just seems like the time to deal with the dark issues in our lives. So every fourth quarter we come out with a new one. So this reading is good from this fourth quarter moon to the next fourth quarter moon. Anything you want to add to that?
I just did.
Well, there is one other thing. We read all the cards upside down in reverse. So, hope you will enjoy this reading and get something out of it. Absolutely.
Like most of our other shows, we do this for the elemental signs of the Zodiac. So we're going to start off with the air signs.
Which are?
Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius.
This reading is for you. Where does it hurt, air signs? We're going to find out. At the start of the year, some of us may have regrets from the previous year. Some of us may be still dealing with some hanging issues from the previous year. Let's see what's going on in your world, air signs. We have been getting quite some steady viewership for this show, so we thank you for that. We really think this is a decent reading that we put out there for you all. Is that a good way to put it?
Right. We hope and appreciate if you are getting something out of it.
All right. And not just our silliness. Oh, I guess I should show my cup the other way, right? Dzień dobry.
Does that mean Happy New Year?
No. I'm not sure if it means to your good health or if it's to thank you. I think it might be thank you.
Okay, air signs, you're up.
All right.
Card 1. What is or will be making the air signs unhappy right now?
Rules schmools, right?
Indeed.
It's the Hierophant upright. Oh boy, somebody's maybe cracking the whip on you, air signs, wanting you to adhere to standards, traditions, customs, whether this is coming from family pressure, maybe not liking the particular lifestyle you have chosen for yourself, or, the religion that you choose to follow, whether it's politics, gosh forbid, or whatever. It just seems as though you're having a hard time dealing with the status quo that's expected of you.
Right, and that expectation...
Oh, wait, it's reversed.
Yeah, I know, I was just...
But it's the same way, I'm sorry, we got to show it reversed.
Yes, we forgot that, sorry about that.
But it's still the same meaning, to me, you're rebelling.
Exactly, and it's what you're rebelling against is stifling conformity. Whether it's in religion or politics, you're not happy because others are wanting you to conform. And of course, when we look at our current world, there's a lot of energy devoted towards, creating this idea of us and them, and you're either right or you're wrong because of
just black and white these days. It doesn't seem like there's any tolerance for the middle anymore, whatever the middle may be.
So air signs could be dealing with this on a number of fronts. They could be dealing with it in their families or with their coworkers or in other kinds of relationships.
Or just with workplace, bucking the rules at work and wanting, to do things your way. And it's clear here with this reversed, I just want to emphasize, you are rebelling against this. You are paving your own way by hook or by crook. And, even when we are, how do we want to say, when we stand up for ourselves, it still can be hard and painful, when people reject us for who we feel we're trying to be.
Well, maybe we want that for card 2, because that is how we are dealing with, or will be dealing with,
how
the unhappiness.
Are we dealing with this unhappiness? Well, it's a Knight of Pentacles reversed.
We're kind of digging in our heels. And
we are, which
move.
Almost is what I said there.
We're causing maybe a cessation in service or a slowdown in our moves. We are maybe drawing attention to the fact that we are resistant to what is causing this unhappiness.
Are you ready to quit a job, go on a strike of some sort, hold back, love and attention or care for others because of their behavior towards you? I think that's how you're dealing with it right now, is like you put a full stop either to certain relationships that are, not accepting you for who you are, or, maybe even leaving a job behind because you can't adhere to what their expectations are of you.
I could also see this playing larger on maybe a couple of other major issues going on right now politically and or globally, where people feel like there should not be the status quo and just the letting certain bad actors get their way.
Well, politically will be handled later, perhaps.
Don't I know it?
Because we do a world prediction at the end. At any rate, let's see. So card 3 is, why are these feelings of yours justified? Oh my gosh. It's another Pentacle card. This almost does make me feel like this could be a work-life issue of some sort. It's the King of Pentacles reversed. The King of Pentacles reversed.
Well, maybe they're justified because you feel that nothing is really controlling these forces, and so things are really unmanageable or not being managed well.
I have another thought about this. You feel your feelings are justified because you're rebelling against this authority, this person who may be micromanaging or scrutinizing your every behavior, etc. If this isn't in the business world, sometimes this could be a micromanager. Also, it could indicate to me, too, that maybe there's just something tainted about the organization you work with. Maybe they invest money in places that you politically aren't aligned with, or, there's something about them that you cannot, the overall corporate structure that you are rebelling against.
I think that's a very good point. And yes, a lot of times, there is more nuance to a reverse court card. This could be talking about, indeed, somebody who is a micromanager or somebody who is a taskmaster of some sort.
Maybe it is a father figure who's just laying down the law and his expectations for you.
So how will we turn that frown upside down, air signs?
Not easily. Wow.
Oh dear. Take no prisoners.
Take no prisoner time.
It's the Five of Swords
reversed, which means to me, you know what? Sometimes frictions are a gap is so big, frictions are so wide, you can't close that gap no matter how much you try. And I mean, maybe you've given it a try, you've tried to get them to see, but you should not have to compromise who you are. Maybe it's just time to walk away with your integrity intact, and the sense that this is right for you, and so therefore you have to find where you truly belong.
This card is always about saying that neither side could win this, that really it could be better, in fact, just to take your dignity and walk away because no one is going to win this one way or the other. And, a boss told me that a long time ago, that when you sort of put a demand that maybe is veiled in a threat, unless you do this, I will leave, they'll say, go ahead. They'll say, go ahead. So,
wow, air signs. I wish we had better news, because this is supposed to bring you up. But you know what? It is good news, because there is a way out. And the way out is taking the way out, walking away this time. So, walking away does not always mean failure. In a sense, you lose and you win. Have you ever heard the song by Bob Seger, Beautiful Loser?
air signs, it just could be that maybe when I look at this progression here, we're going to go through it.
Yeah.
You are just somebody who is a rebel. You're a rebel. And you're not going to necessarily go along with everybody else. And if you feel strong enough about it, you will part ways.
You have your own, you have your own way of viewing things, viewing the world, viewing your work, viewing the way you want to be seen in this world. And you have a right to that, But of course, companies have a right to pick and choose who they want. People can pick and choose who their friends are. Family even will, decide who to own and who to disown. But if you are strong within yourself and your beliefs, you know what you're going to have to do. You stand up for yourself. You dig in your heels a little bit, right?
Some of these qualities here are so strong that you almost get the feeling like somebody feels it's existential. This is about the rejection of themselves, and it's very personal. If it's not about themselves, it's about their chosen relationship, their chosen lifestyle, right, their chosen livelihood, what they want to study in school. And so somebody may be feeling so strongly about this, they feel they can justify this unhappiness and feel they will resolve it on their own.
Well, what's making you, how are you dealing with it is just by, like I said, digging in your heels, not moving. Here we see that your feelings are justified because somebody might be being unreasonable with you, or some organization, some corporation, or they're just not going to accept you. That's the bottom line. You don't fit into their mold, their model, and also they may just be too overly, scrutinizing you.
It seemed like maybe we were just sort of saying like this was just sort of like a personal matter where maybe somebody just felt like picayune about it. But no, this does have the smacks of a major injustice or feeling that, you cannot resolve this on your own, and that it is better to move on, that maybe somebody truly doesn't feel you work with them in this situation.
And here it is. It's time to walk away from people who will throw knives at you. How about that?
There you go.
All right, let's move on. Wow.
Okay, so that was the air signs. We are now moving to the fire signs.
Fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. You shuffle first, Mr. O. Oh boy, let's see what's hurting in my world. Oh, should be interesting. We just had some roofers pounding on our roof. We had no idea they were coming. They finished just before we got started, pretty much.
Well, we figure, there was a major overall project in our condo, the 200 roofs that were re-roofed, and that there were probably some follow-up issues that maybe they wanted to wait into the new year. So January 3rd, or 2nd rather, they started up.
My goodness, they got right on it.
We knew there were a couple, things that they were going to come back for. One or two that
I had no idea. I thought they were completely done. I did.
Oh, well, enough of that small talk.
But I did. So they sort of surprised me today. At least they weren't as noisy as the first time, because they were tearing down many roofs at one time.
Oh, that was all out roof attack.
Wow. It was crazy. Our poor cats ducked for cover for days. I felt bad for them. All right, you fire signs. Let's see what's going on in your world. Where does it hurt?
Card 1. What is it that will be making the fire signs unhappy?
Oh.
It's Temperance reversed.
Well, it looks like we just can't get it together. It looks like we just feel there's no downtime or time to reflect and take everything in before we have to keep moving on to the next. Maybe things at the beginning of this year are starting to move at a very fast pace for you, fire signs.
There's something maybe that we need to be more patient about, and we can't. It may be something that really affects us so dramatically. We've waited so long for it. It could be the year 2024.
Patience? Fire sign. I don't understand patience.
So fire signs maybe continually have problems with unhappiness because they have no ability to be patient.
We like to keep moving, but even for us sometimes, I think it can get out of hand, let's face it. And so that's what it looks like. So how are you dealing or will be dealing with this unhappiness? Oh no, maybe this has to do with relationships. Maybe we're being impatient with others, or dealing with the impatience or imbalance coming from our relations with others. It seems as though, people aren't supporting us. Maybe that's too why we're feeling the pressure. We don't feel like we're getting enough support from others, and whether it's in our personal or in our business lives.
I wonder if this could be about a relationship. Maybe we were thinking, we were moving to the next base or something like that. And, the qualities of temperance really do sort of talk about, hearts kind of beating together. So maybe somebody is tired for this, and they're feeling like maybe they have to make absence makes the heart grow fonder. So maybe we're pulling back emotionally as a way of handling a sense of being put off.
It could be. Let's see what the other cards bring. Why aren't these feelings justified? Oh, it's the Three of Swords reversed.
Another three?
Yes. And, what's interesting about that one, obviously, it's healing. It's almost as if we need some time. Maybe, I don't know, maybe something happened at the end of this last year, with either friendships or partnerships, something like that, a breakup or an argument or a rift that's holding over into the new year. And we're trying to heal from this. We're trying to get our bearings, but we just can't seem to.
Well, it could be that fire signs with their lack of patience don't realize that somebody else needs more time. And so we're saying, we're healed. Come on, where are you? And of course, the somebody else is still, being maybe, like a snotty Scorpio, like, I don't know, you have to make it up to me somehow.
Well, actually, I was thinking about something else here, too. That, this is a card of healing, but you have to be willing to heal, and you have to be willing to take the time to do it, which it doesn't seem like it's happening here. But maybe, fire signs, you're doing this to yourself because you don't want to hurt, and therefore you're ignoring the pain, and you're hoping that you can just move past it without going through the process of healing.
That's a BAM, I think.
You think? It could be, because I know how we are. At least me.
So even though this is going on with you, there still is an unhappiness that maybe we're avoiding or not seeing. How will we turn that frown upside down ultimately?
Wow, we have some really heavy cards in these readings so far.
It's
the Ten of Swords reversed. How can we turn that frown upside down? Well, it's really clear, fire signs,
Get even.
No, get even.
Get even.
That is not necessarily what this card is about, Mr. O, and you know it. That sounds like a Scorpio answer.
We bring the fire.
But we are fire signs. However, I think what this is saying is, you know what? You have to go through this healing process and pick yourself up and just move on. But you're only going to be able to do that when you are absolutely ready to heal and accept the grief and sorrow that comes along with healing. We have to feel the feels, fire sign. We can't just run through them.
It almost feels like maybe somebody in the fire signs were trying to forestall the end of a relationship or the end of a meaningful part of a relationship. And you have to come to that realization that you do have to accept it and that maybe things will never be the same again. You may be able to heal, but you may have to also accept the fact that others have something different going on.
Whew, well, let's go through this one again for the fire signs. We're pretty clear, I think, on this now that the temperance is this imbalance that you are experiencing is in some relationship you're having with others, and I'm not going to rule out that it's not workplace related, because you could be interpersonal relations with your coworkers that have gone amok. But whatever the case may be, there's definitely some imbalance, some disharmony going on that's making you hurt, right?
Well, you have two swords too, so it really does sound like it could be something like that more in the workplace where ambitions...
Yeah, it could be. But it could just be, the challenges we face with our relations with others. True. Either way. I'm not going to rule that out. And so here, again, with how are we dealing with it? Well, not well. It seems like it's over, right? I think that's how we're dealing with it, is we're kind of done. You know?
We are feeling like it's done.
We're feeling it's done, and maybe that's hurting us even more. However, here, with why are our feelings justified, it's because, we wanted I see something else here too. Maybe we wanted this to heal. Maybe we wanted, this that we can make another go at it, or this isn't the end of the world. We can overcome this, or why can't we work together constructively? We wanted it to heal. So we were kind of in denial that it's over, and then ultimately here, how do you turn that frown upside down? By realizing it's over and moving on. Would you agree with that?
I have to agree with this. This is a good summation here.
Yeah, I think when I saw that last time here, that makes a lot more sense to me, fire signs. Ha! Wow! Whew, good luck with that.
Signs.
Well, it is the new year, out with the old and with the new. If it isn't working and you've tried to fix it and it's not working, it's time to let it go. All right. Wow. Hey. Well, why don't you talk about the water signs, Mr. O? You are
all right. So we are on the water signs, and of course, when it comes to being unhappy, no one can hold a candle to the water signs. They are able to
make everybody unhappy with them.
Sob an ocean for us all to swim through. But water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And they tend to be the most emotional of most of the water signs, or if you have significant planets or fixations or whatever in the water signs, this could add strong emotions to your own makeup.
Okay. Let me give them to you to shuffle. There you go. Oh boy, water signs, where does it hurt?
Well, I don't know. I think so far fire signs are the ones who are...
Well, I don't think the air signs did that well either with that Five of Swords there. Come on. We had two readings with some real heavy-hitting cards there. And yeah, the fire signs have the 10 and the 3 of Swords. Well, Mercury is stationing direct, but there's still some issues and wobbliness for the next 2 weeks. We might still be dealing with some end of the year fallout here for sure. All right. So, what is or will be making the water signs unhappy right now? It's the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is reversed. Can't seem to get a plan together? Can't seem to bring in the gold? What's the story, water signs? It seems as though you were maybe awaiting some return, maybe on an investment, or an investment of your time and energy, something you were hoping would take off, and it's just not happening.
Something may have shifted that you thought was moving along. It's also possible this could have been the beginning of a friendship or a relationship, and maybe you thought it was going to be more promising, but maybe something has sort of backfired there, or something just sort of is putting it a little bit out of your reach.
So how are you dealing, or will be dealing, with this unhappiness, water signs? Well, it's the Page of Wands reversed. So it's almost as if you're disappointed. I think that's clear. And I think in the process of that, you may be considering abandoning what you thought might be something good that you were that you had started working on, or a goal that you wanted to, that you were working on, maybe a job, even a career that you were trying to, or again, like you said, it could be a relationship, right?
Well, it looks to me like you may try to focus on something different, but I'm wondering if this will end up being that kind of rebound principle, whether it's a relationship or just another activity, maybe to take up the place of one that is not working out, that maybe you'll find, you move too quickly.
Yeah.
This could be saying that, there's a certain sense of waste if you make a decision too soon, though. So this is saying, don't make assumptions here in what's going on. You might want to try to check it out better.
So why are your feelings justified? Well, it's the Ace of Swords reversed. Your feelings are justified because you thought this was such a great idea. You thought that this was really going to pay off for you. You thought you could achieve success here, or a victory, that it would be a super a super great start for you, and sadly, it doesn't seem like it's turned out that way.
Although it could still be a relationship, I'm wondering if maybe this is sort of like a more competitive relationship, and your feelings are justified because you feel as if somebody has snatched away a victory from you, or has diverted your sense of a victory or an achievement.
Maybe have stolen your ideas.
Something like that, because of course Swords does talk about the mental, environment. So I'm wondering if maybe this isn't about an interpersonal relationship as much as it is about something that's more competitive, that still could be interpersonal, but maybe it plays out in the context of school or work or another situation.
So how are we going to turn this frown upside down, eh? I want to turn him this way. Well, it's the Hanged Man reversed. So, all right. I guess you may have to make some sacrifices. I think you may have to accept the fact that, maybe perhaps your ego got ahead of you on this one, and that, maybe it's time to either go back to the drawing board or look at things from a different perspective now. Maybe some major changes need to be made, or you need to move on to something else.
I think it's sad. I think this is saying really that maybe you do want to hang somewhere else, in a way that maybe this is a sign for you, saying that what you'll do is just try to find something different to move on with. It may be in the same environment, but I get the feeling like anything could happen. It could be, something really different.
I think all of this will be some sort of an epiphany for you in a way too, and that you will realize that you've got to just quit hanging on and hoping that anything will change here, and just move forward onto something else.
Nice.
So let's take a look. I do think, like you, that probably this is more business or goal oriented than relationship, just by the look at the cards. So
it fooled me at first, but yeah.
Well, I think with the 2 wands and then the sword element, it just does not sound relationshipy. So let's take a look here again. It looks like your strategies maybe just failed to materialize something that you had hoped for, and it's making you unhappy, or there was some setbacks along the way. It's possible here that, you realize that now, that how you're dealing with it is that, hey, I think I have to let it go. It's just a lost cause. I sort of feel
Sensing
that.
a bit of competition going on here maybe makes it feel like maybe, what's making you unhappy is that maybe others have moved on with your own plans.
Well, that's what I'm getting from the Ace of
Yeah,
Swords, actually,
true.
reversed, is that maybe somebody stole your thunder. Maybe your idea's already been out there, been done. You thought it was something novel and new, or somebody has taken it from you. It's just like you got a thumbs down here, It's like the great victory you thought you'd be able to achieve is now empty and not. You realize here that your feelings are justified, that, this is not the great start I thought it would be.
Well, when you think about the preceding wands too, it may have been the kind of environment where you thought there was a certain level of trust or camaraderie. And so with that ace there, it sort of feels like somebody kind of, didn't tell you they were going to do this. And it feels like a betrayal in a way.
And so ultimately the best thing you can do is to gather, you probably have been ruminating on this whole process here, and it's time for you to move on to something else now, to hang your hat or your head or your body somewhere else now, in some other goal, some other career situation, if this has not been working out for you, some other course of study if you're a student.
I agree.
All right.
So then.
So let's see what's going on.
Earth signs.
With the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. This reading is for you. Whew, where does it hurt? Yeah, hide that one. Yeah, the Tower.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yep.
I didn't even notice, but I didn't want it to be seen there. I hope it doesn't show up again.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Come on, you cards. One more shuffle. Go. These are slippery on this table. All right. Where does it hurt for the earth signs? What will or is making you unhappy right now? Well, it's the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is reversed. Sadly, what's making you unhappy is this fact that you feel overwhelmed. You feel as though maybe either competition is overwhelming you in business. There's a lot of pressures maybe in your everyday life that are adding up. It's kind of hard to keep your head above the fray. Perhaps even, you're in the middle of some type of argument between people and, you're trying to have the upper hand here, stay out of it a little bit, but you're being drawn in.
Right, you clearly, earth signs, don't feel you have advantage here, and in fact you may actually feel that you have already lost, or that there is no value in continued fighting because you don't have a position to stand on.
Wow, don't like it, but let's see what we can do about it. How are you dealing with this unhappiness? Uh-oh. No, don't give up, but it looks like you have. It's the Nine of Wands reversed. This is a card of putting up the white flag of surrender, by saying, hey, I give up. I quit. Whether this is some struggles at work with a job, or this is some struggles in some other area of your life with people who are just constantly pressuring you to do this, do that, do things their way, live the life they want you to live, etc. You're ready to just quit, which I'm not sure is a very good way to deal with this situation.
Well, some of the earth signs are known for being stubborn, And so this could be saying really you do have a really depth of feeling that you can't make changes here and that you want to maybe protect yourself from feeling more pain by giving up.
Yeah, it's funny because when you think about how stubborn they are, you'd think they would dig in their heels more, but it just seems like you feel like, the odds are against you.
You feel like this was one that won't work.
Well, why are your feelings justified? Oh my gosh.
Another 8?
Wow, yes, and it's what do you mean another 8?
I'm sorry.
You did that before in this show. It's the 8 of Swords reversed. It's our only 8 in this reading, but it's 7, 8, and 9, which is somewhat interesting.
I already apologize.
I understand.
Okay.
But I was just talking about 7, 8, 9. I think that's interesting. At any rate, they aren't in order. And this card here, as to why our feelings are justified, or signs, is that because you really want to liberate yourself from this now. You want to stop feeling like you're living, you're doing things other people's ways, or that you have to take all this pressure and stuff that people are throwing at you. You want to quit because you are done. You're starting to feel your power again, and you want out.
It's totally what Banshee's saying here. Really, this is like saying a breath of fresh air. You really are not even looking back. You're just sort of feeling like this is total reinvention.
And so how can you turn that frown upside down? I almost think it's that card, but oh, it's justice reversed.
Well, you may have to go to the dark side a little bit. You may have to do something that really is unexpected of you by others, or maybe that others will feel, that wasn't right, that wasn't fair. You may have to do something that's fair for you, but won't be viewed as fair necessarily.
You have to do the things that will restore balance back in your life, and harmony. You're done with all the pressure. You're done with all this, whether it's pressure on you as a person, or it's about your work, or even in a relationship, if you're being pressured all the time to do this, do that by your partner and not have any time for your own needs and your own life. It may be time to call it quits, or it's time to get that right. So whatever can bring and restore the harmony and balance in your life. Unlike the Scorpio here, I'm not going to tell you to go break the law or do anything. I know you weren't. Or do anything unethical, or what people, regardless, I think he's right here about one thing, that if you are going to liberate yourself and you're going to seek the balance, you're going to upset them. You're going to upset them anyway. You're going to do something that upsets them. And if you hear pounding, it sounds like the roofers are back. So
one last time, looking at that question there, how do we turn it upside down? I guess this would really be saying that you can't necessarily be held to other standards. That you have to really, figure out your standards that are best for you.
We've had 2 readings similar to this. I think it was at air signs in a way.
One?
Yeah. So it's interesting what's going on here. It just seems like there's a lot of outside pressures on everybody so far, these readings. And in this case, as we go back and recap, what is, or will be making you unhappy, earth signs, is this idea that you have to keep standing your ground and pushing back against people who are trying to push on you, that are trying to make demands on you. And you feel they are unreasonable, unfair, and, they're trying to bring you down.
Right. And you mostly feel like, the line is there, but you're having a hard time staying with it.
And, it's making you feel like, I got to let this go. I've got to quit. I'm done. I'm done with constantly putting up with this pressure, or people who want to, who don't have my back, who are trying to stab me in the back. So, I think that's what that card's about.
In your own way, you may even be able to rationalize that this is not losing so much as just getting away to plan for another day.
Yeah, good point. And what basically, though, your feelings are justified because you're tired of feeling tied down and trapped by all of this. You know, it's affecting you on an internal level, not just a physical level, although we see a little bit of that here with the Nine of Wands. It's really on an internal level as well that you feel this and you want to be free.
You could be also feeling, too, that you're giving in to something that allows you to act out your worst sides, and you don't necessarily want that.
And you can turn that frown upside down by restoring balance and harmony in your life and seeking out the people who will treat you fairly instead of unjustly.
Exactly.
All right. Well, after all of that, what the heck could be going on in the world?
I don't know, but I guess we're going to find out.
We're going to see right now what's making the world feel unhappy. And I can think of a whole lot of things right now. Russia is bombing the heck out of Ukraine at the moment. The unrest in the Middle East might widen because the Iranians are sending a warship into the Gulf. And the U.S. has fired on Houthi rebels there. In this country. It's just a mess of politics as usual. And we're going to have to be working on some of the things they put off to this year, funding the government fully. So lots of stuff to hurt about. Yikes. Not to mention the crazy winter we've been having with no snow in our area for the whole winter just about. We just had a light dusting once, right, in November,
I hope
October.
That doesn't mean that when we do get it, we're going to get a lot more.
I don't know. Now they're predicting a warmer than average winter for our area. And it looks like the southern states or southwest are going to be getting cooler temperatures this winter than normal. Crazy stuff. Okay. But what about the world? What is or will be making it unhappy right now, us all? And we start with the Page of Wands reversed.
Okay.
Well, New Year, same old, same old. We can't seem to get any better positive initiatives off the ground. It just seems like maybe we're stuck. There's delays, perhaps diplomatic, quagmires, things that just don't seem to be moving. Like, for example, the war in the Middle East with Israel and the Palestinians. It just seems as though, and Hamas, it seems as though nobody wants to negotiate, or at least Israel does not. They want to end the war their way.
This card seems to be talking about lack of good communication or lack of any communication, or, it's still in the shadow of Mercury going direct, so it could be that there are just messaging things that are not resolved between nations or between various actors in the world struggles.
That's kind of why I was thinking of the diplomacy and that angle of it too, is like, we're just going to move forward without talking, and keep doing what we're doing.
So how does the world deal with this?
How are we dealing with this unhappiness? Oh boy. The Magician reversed. I do not like that here.
No. Well, it's acting out.
I believe also it's bad actors.
Bad actors
acting out. So whether we could look at, what's happening politically in our country, or we could look at what's going on in the world, with Israel and Hamas and Ukraine and Putin, Russia, and China even. It's just, and North Korea's even been kind of, mixing it up lately. So I kind of feel like there's a lot of bad actors who who are, who are acting out, and that's what's going on.
Well, if some of this is based on the ideas in the first card, the ideas of information or sharing or dialoguing is being sort of halted or diminished or distracted from, then this could say people could be making assumptions about other people's behaviors,
motives,
or things, and this is not good.
It's not good all the way around. It just seems like there's
making assumptions about important, worldly matters.
There's also trickery going on here.
Yeah.
We got to remember that with the magician, they're reversed. It's like a sleight of hand. There may be things happening, we may be hearing one thing and another thing is happening behind the scenes.
The magician reverse could be a person who uses their powers for ill.
Why are these feelings justified? Uh-oh. It's the Two of Swords reversed. You know what? I think these feelings, we're going to find out why they're justified, because I have a feeling this means somebody is going to make a move that they're probably going to regret. Or that will make everybody realize this, right? It's some bad move that's going to take place.
These two could amount to some sense of distraction as a move is being considered.
Yeah, I don't know. But this is about the feelings being justified. Are our feelings justified? Yes, I think they will. We will find out that we're right about this, because somebody is going to do something we're not going to like. Some government, something's going to happen. I don't like this card here. And so how do we turn that frown upside down?
I think everybody stop.
Well, I'm in a way glad to see this here. It's the Four of Wands reversed. Either way, the Four of Wands is not a bad card. But what does this mean? How do we turn this frown upside down? I think it's by...
We're getting some people to the table. Okay. Even if they're not totally down with everything, there is some sense of agreement in this direction.
Well, I kind of like that. I was also thinking that we turn this frown upside down by trying to pick up the pieces, and build a firmer foundation. If something is going to go wrong here and somebody's going to make a terrible move, we have to find a way to fix it. And I really think here this is about attending to the details, the finer points, and getting to the bottom of things. Maybe, like you say, maybe negotiations will really start getting serious.
Well, I can think of any number of international problems between various nations,
or even other politically,
nations, or here, and say this is like convincing people, come and have a seat at the table. Nothing happens if you're not here working for it.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow, indeed.
Shall we go back here?
Yeah,
all right. Well, this really doesn't look good. It looks as though what is hurting us right now, like Mr. O said, it could be some bad news. It absolutely could be some bad news we get. It could be because maybe we thought a good beginning or something could change for the better, but it's not, it's delayed, or it just does not happen.
There's a sense maybe of just disconnectives, or people ignoring things that they shouldn't be, or messages not getting through. And of course, besides this moon phase we're in, it's also still post Mercury realigning.
And how are we dealing with this? Well, I think the people that are dealing with this, frankly, are bad actors who are causing this. We are realizing this now. Maybe that's how we're dealing with it, is we're starting to realize that certain people are not playing fair. They're not playing above board. They may be hiding things. They may be being sneaky. And that's how we're dealing with it.
The magician reverse could be the intentional misuse of power.
Yes. And that comes in here, I think, because I feel like this combination is really important. Why are our feelings justified? Because somebody is going to make a move, a choice, or a decision we are not going to think is very good for
Another implication is that they were waiting for information or something to happen that sort of said, now is the time, and that may be...
Or an excuse.
Right? Thank you.
Yeah, and so how do we turn that frown upside down? I'll let you handle that.
Well, I think
what you said.
We need to to keep stressing the diplomacy and the big table approach, the big tent approach that everybody needs to find their place and try to work together.
We need to find a way to overcome this together. You know, as a matter of fact, if it's just one bad actor out there that's causing this, although I suspect it may be more than one, you know, we need to, the rest of us, come together and put a stop to this and look at the finer points of what's going on here. Really examine this issue critically, because maybe, you know, like I said, there's been a lot of things that have been happening behind the scenes that we're only going to find out about when something really not so great happens. Not at the start of the year. I just don't like that. Well, everybody, whoo, this has been some set of readings this time around.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Make the best of it. Just make the best of it. Nothing is insurmountable here. We can move on in a more positive direction, and I think that was reflected by some of the endings of our cards here, even in this one. So it's up to us to bring the change that we desire. So good luck. Have a great month ahead. And you know, we'll be back at the next fourth quarter moon to tell you again, where does it hurt? Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.